Midsummer Scream just happened this past weekend, and I can kind of say spooky season has officially started. So we got some maze announcements and some rumors, so let's just get into it and conquer these theme park haunts. What's up, weirdos? So we got some amazing maze announcements this past week, and let's just get started with it. And let's start off with Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. One thing I've been seeing since all these announcements from Halloween Horror Nights is they have much of a theme this year of 80s with Stranger Things, the Ghostbusters, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So you can kind of see that there is a 80s type of theme this year. And there is no proof otherwise with this new announcement of a new maze called Creep Show from the 80s television show Creep Show. So with this announcement, they showed the creep from the Creep Show, and he just looks terrifying in itself. So I'm all excited for this maze coming out this year, especially with the whole 80s theme that they're doing with it this year. I'm just really excited. And Universal Studios has announced that this maze will be in the backlot area, right where Horror of Blumhouse house was last year, right behind the sets. I'm pretty excited. This maze, from what the pictures I've seen of this construction is, it looks pretty big. So there's going to be so much space for them to incorporate with this story and with all the different tales of terrors that they have in this show. But Universal Studios is never slim on their announcements, which they just announced another maze just a few days ago, and it's a maze based on the movie Us from Jordan Peele. I don't know much about this movie. I haven't watched it yet, but from what I heard, it's a really good movie, really creepy, and it has a good soundtrack. So I'm all excited for movies that have really good soundtracks as mazes, because you can hear that song throughout the whole maze and it's going to make it even more creepier. And this maze is reported to be located in the tram garage, right where you exit out the backlot trams, right over in that area. They've built two mazes, so we're waiting for another announcement on another maze that's going to be in that area. So they're going to have the most mazes in Halloween Horror Nights history, and I'm just excited to be going through all these different mazes. So let's jump into something that was more surprising to me from Midsummer Scream is Queen Mary Dark Harbor announced a new maze this year. And this maze is called Rogue. And there's a story behind this maze, so let me tell you the story. A monstrous freak wave has hit the legendary Queen Mary, causing the ship to nearly capsize. The ocean liner is near and full breach and quickly taking on water as she tilts on her side. Chaos has descended and the passengers and crews are left disoriented and confused in the fight for survival. Many plummeting into darkness or the tumultuous ocean. The captain and the crew are hard at work trying to salvage the ship after the rogue wave, or are they? So this is pretty cool because this is an actual maze based around the character of the captain, who in recent years has just been an icon for the event. An actual maze behind him. Supposedly you're supposed to get wet in this maze, and you know Queen Mary doesn't stray away from getting wet. You get pretty wet inside these mazes. I remember last year getting pretty wet in most of these mazes, which was new to me because I've never gotten wet inside of a haunted maze like that before. So this is interesting, and with that announcement does bring you with pretty much all of the favorite mazes that they have at Queen Mary returning. Lullaby, The Feast, Circus, B340, which was my favorite last year because it was all around the paranormal sightings on the ship, Interpret. That announcement is pretty cool to actually have a new maze coming to the Queen Mary. It caught me by surprise because I thought there wasn't going to be anything announced this year for Queen Mary. So I can't wait to go to that event either. Okay, so Not Scary Farm. really didn't announce much in Midsummer Scream, which they usually don't. They actually have their own maze announcement night at the park. But they did have a little bit to announce this year, which was Special Ops Infected is returning, but it's going to be its last year. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the maze myself, so, I mean, one more year is not that bad. And they announced that Dark Ride was coming in this year with a twist. They're adding a new room. So where the air duct area was in the maze last year, they're going to change it into a surveillance room. And they were saying that there's going to be some interactive moments inside of this room where you can hit buttons and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool to have a little interactiveness to the maze. They actually announced another room. It's funny because this room is themed around a gift shop. Because, you know, every dark ride cannot end without you exiting out of a gift shop. So I've been finding out online that there are some rumors going around right now. There's nothing really to confirm that Devil House I talked about a couple weeks ago. There's no name behind it. But I did find something that had 2 new names that were filed for Not Scary Farm. And these names were Origins and Waxworks. So as you can tell, there was nothing really named Devil in these 2 new mazes. But we do know that Trick or Treat's not coming back this year, and we're pretty much for sure knowing that Red Barn's not coming back this year. So Origins, it would fit the Devil House that we talked about a couple weeks ago. And Wax House, I'm thinking this sounds more of a ghost towny kind of thing. So this would probably fit more at Red Barn, which would sound pretty cool if it's an actual wax museum haunted house, because there's nothing more creepy than wax museums, not even during Halloween. So if that name is true, I'm all excited for that, because Red Barn was pretty lame last year, in my opinion. Maybe we'll see a wax house this year too. So there's also rumors that the Devil House is going to be a 3D maze, which is cool because Not Scary Farm hasn't really had a 3D maze in the past few years that I've went. So if it's a 3D maze, I really like 3D mazes because it adds that element of surprise, because you're wearing 3D glasses and the walls are jumping out at you and all of a sudden actor jumps out at you. So that's pretty much all the big news of these Halloween haunts. What do you guys think? Any comments? What you like? What are you most excited about? Comment down below. Well, that's it for today, weirdos. Hope you guys liked it. Hit that like button if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more adventures. Also, check out the links at the end of my video for more of me, more of my adventures, and where to find me on the social media, guys. Stay spooky, Halloweenies.